Here's a key to sales, in my opinion.
All right, let's go.
It's just learn to say anything in pure confidence and don't back down. My sales manager didn't really like that I was into that kind of mindset. So I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to show up to a lady's house that has a pool. I'm going to tell her I'm the pool boy she ordered, and she's going to show me around the pool. You go to the front door, knock, knock, knock. I just wanted to prove him wrong. I didn't want a sale. I wanted to prove this guy wrong.
Yeah.
I go, hey, I'm your pool boy. And I don't budge. She's like, my husband said so. Yeah, I think my husband did it. Come on in.
All right, London. Thank you so much for joining me, my friend. This is going to be really fun. I'm really happy to have you on here, man.
Thanks for having me, as always. I love chatting with new people, getting on new podcasts. You know, it's part of the gig. It's part of the gig.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure. And I'm sure. And I'm surprised you don't have one yet. I feel like most creators now are kind of going towards those.
You know, I'm man, I just want to start my own trends, dude. Like, podcasts are so valuable and so great, but if you're starting it to try to get in as a trend or a quick buck, you're going to fail. And I would say that's 9 out of 10 podcasts. I would say that's 9 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, I built this audience. I need a podcast. It's like, no, you don't, dude. So I haven't felt the need. Yet. But yes, I do see myself hosting some form of a podcast one day and calling it my own, you know.
I think you'd crush it. Well, and it's funny that you mentioned that because I feel like, obviously, by the way, we're going to get into your story. You got 9 million followers on TikTok. We're going to talk about all that. But, you know, I always like to start with just a good question, like a really valuable question. And that would be like, you know, in this stream of like podcasts and people who get into it for a quick buck or think they're going to, you know, hit a bunch of followers right out of the gate. I feel like that might be the same for people who try to get on TikTok. You know, they make, you know, even if they do a month of, you know, of videos and they don't get anything, they're like, dude, this is, you know, this is worthless. I mean, what are your thoughts around that? Right.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. So my general rule, and people have a hard time even comprehending this, is don't do anything unless you're going to do it for 2 years. 2 years is the minimum. 2 years is the bare minimum, in my opinion, to do anything big. You can do small stuff all day long. You can start a small podcast. You can start a small business. You can have a small channel. You can do that relatively quickly. There's a fly in here. You can do that relatively quickly, but if you really want to move the needle and actually do something big on a bigger scale, it's a 2 year minimum. So everything big I've done in my year has taken about 2 years to really get the ball going. So yeah, I don't care. If you're sitting at home listening to this being like, oh, this kid has 9 million followers, I can do the same. You're in for 2 years. You're in for 2 years and you got to accept it. Yeah.
I like that though, because it's true. And the reason I like that is because like I have a podcast production company, and whenever we talk with clients, the first thing I ask them is like, are you in it? And I say a year, but two is even better, obviously. But like I say a minimum of a year, because like if you're not in it for a year, then you're going to call me in 6 months and be like, Dalton, this is horse shit, man.
Yep.
I'm not getting anywhere. Yep. And I'm going to be like, what are you talking about, dude? This isn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say six months is even better than 90% of what people are going to say. Most people say 30 days. I don't have 1 million followers and it's been a month. It's like, okay, you're gonna have a hard time no matter what you do in your life.
That's so true. I mean, like we did get to this, like, because I you know, the overnight. Well, and I knew it. I had a friend of mine who was pretty big on TikTok, had like 1 million followers or whatever, and you know, even for him, it was like, it didn't happen overnight, and it just doesn't happen. I mean, he had like one big one, like early on, he had like a really viral moment where he had like 10 million views or whatever. But even that didn't really get him a lot of followers. And because it happened so early, you know, he mentioned to me that was almost like a detriment to him because he thought that was like the norm. You know what I mean? He got real lucky on one video. I mean, and I don't want to say lucky because it was a good video, but like, you know, that's not the norm, right? You hope for like a couple at a time and then you kind of go from there, right?
Yep. Yep, and I mean that is the norm. You know, what is luck? Luck is giving yourself the best chances to succeed, right?
Yeah.
And luck takes a long time to build up, man. It takes a long time. You know, you feel lucky. Like when I'm hosting the Grammys, you know, I just did the red carpet for the Grammys, and it's like that kid's lucky. He just has 9 million followers. It's like, if somebody called you to do the Grammys, would you even know how to talk to the camera? Would you even know how to interview somebody? No, you wouldn't.
That's a
because
great
I spent
point.
the past 6 years building up for that lucky opportunity.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that.
Podcasts and interviewing people, right? So it's like, luck is true. I believe in luck, but you got to work for it.
Yeah, it all has to come together at the right time. You know what, man, I really like that you said that, because I do that as well. Like, when I'm talking with, like, you know, my podcast is around business owners, but like seeing creators in like your space is like really inspiring, because it just hits to my point, which is like, like with the internet nowadays, I really do believe that there's a million ways to make money and you can get it done. But I like what you said, because you know, my same analogy, like the analogy that I would use that's similar to yours, is like, how many lottery winners are still millionaires? And the answer is 0.
Right.
It's like, you can't get $1 million and not, you know what I mean?
Right.
Out of the blue, you don't know how to take care of it. You don't know how to like work for it. And, and so I feel like it's the same, because that's a great, how was that, by the way, on the red carpet of the Grammys? Man?
Grammys was nuts. I was doing interviews on red carpet for the Grammys.
How did you get that?
TikTok. My dad.
Oh, for the Grammys TikTok. Okay.
For the Grammys TikTok. Yeah. My dad knows the CEO of the Recording Academy, which owns the Grammys. And we put in a bid, and I pitched CBS. I pitched the Grammys. And then somehow my dumb ass made it on the red carpet. I was lucky.
No, dude. But you got
for it at all. I was so lucky.
What was that? So that's interesting. So you had to pitch yourself to do that for that.
Oh, yeah.
How was that whole process? Like, what was that like for you?
It was amazing. It was, so
what kind of things did they ask you to do?
Yeah. So the Grammys is a very interesting story. I pitched the people at the Grammys, their marketing team, their activation team. They said, the Grammys team said, we like this, but we're going to have to pitch CBS. And CBS said no. CBS said, we want nothing to do with TikTok. So I would say, you know, 100 out of 100 people would probably take that authority and walk away from it, but not me. I said, well, I don't want to give up on this until I talk with CBS myself. And they said, okay, we can try to set up a call. Next thing you know, I'm on a Zoom with the big wigs at CBS, and I'm trying my hardest to get the sale. I remember the turning point of the conversation. I said something really stupid, and it made the guy laugh, and he kind of started opening up to me. Within a couple weeks, they signed on. The thing that really sold them was, look, give me all access passes, and you won't ever hear from me. You don't have to worry about me. Don't even buy me a hotel. Don't even buy my plane ticket. I'm flying myself down there. You don't have to worry about me at all, because, again, getting lucky means you know that these companies don't want to have to worry about more people. Their heads are already chopped. They're running around with their heads chopped off. They don't want to have to worry about me. So by me saying, just give me access, I'll do the rest, was really big for them. No other influencer in the world is saying those things. Every other influencer is worrying about what hotel they're staying at. It's like, are you shitting me? Go buy the cheapest hotel and get your ass to the gig. Who cares about a hotel and a flight? Even my dad is like, make sure that they're paying for your flight. I'm like, screw that. Give me the gig. I'll buy my own damn flight. I don't care. So influencers get caught up on the wrong things. And so I was really, it's a stamp of success for me that I was able to turn CBS into a sale. We'll get into this later, but content creation is only sales. It's not being creative.
I love, well, yeah, man. And you know what? I learned that too, because my history is in sales, like sales for 10 years. And, doing this podcast has only made it easier for me, but that's great, dude. And you know, what's funny about that story is there's an old saying, I mean, and you probably know it, but like, and most people probably know it, but like, if you can get someone to laugh in a sales conversation, you're like halfway there, man.
Halfway there, yeah.
Now we can roll, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not all the way, but you're pretty freaking close, and you better close the deal.
Yeah, I didn't even pitch the deal until we had a joke, you know?
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
So,
crack them up a little bit.
I can't even
Open
remember
them
what I
up.
said.
That's
It was
so
insignificant at the point, but at the time, but when I look back,
Now-
I'm like,
Now, there's a really cool part of your story that I also have the same mindset on, but I get a lot of flack, like from my wife a lot, you know, because I've had opportunities to interview big people, and I'll just take them. Like, I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know how we're going to get it done. We're going to do it. You know, you mentioned getting to the Grammys. You're like, dude, if you just give me the opportunity, I'll make everything else work. I don't care if you pay for my flights or hotel. And you said your dad gave you a little guff for that. Did anybody else? And how did you handle that?
I lie to everybody now, because why the hell are you caught up on who's paying for my hotel?
Yeah.
Everybody you say is like, well, are you getting taken care of? It's like,
yeah, dude, I'm at the
let me put it
Grammys,
this
bro.
way. The check could buy me 10,000 hotels. I'll pay for one. You know, the check could pay for hotel rooms for the rest of my life. I can worry about this one. So when people ask me like, well, are they, you know, are you covered? I just say, yeah. I'm like, yeah, they're paying for everything. I mean, essentially they are. They're giving me a paycheck.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But because see, that's how I do this a lot. Like when I interview people, like, you know, when we were putting this interview together, I was basically like, look, whenever he says he's ready to roll, you just let me know. We'll roll, man. Because like,
exactly.
You know, you just don't say no to this stuff. It's like, well, you know, you're the host. It's like, bro, we're trying to make this work, dog.
Yeah,
we can't be
make
caught up on all this
man.
stuff, bro. That's so cool.
That's the biggest portion of the job, is just making it work.
Absolutely. So, okay. So that's a really cool story. I'm sure to come up again, but I'd love to hear just like how you started, because it, you know, from your LinkedIn, it looks like a lot of marketing background. You know, and I read in your Utah Business article that you tried to do some comedy on Instagram. I love that, dude. But tell us, like, all the way at the beginning, like, is this something you thought you were always going to do? Like, is entrepreneurship something you're always going to do? Or like, how was this journey for you?
Yeah, man. I want to put this out into the world. Whoever is listening to this, I think there's a niche group of people. Maybe it's everybody, but I don't get this from a lot of people. There are some of us living on this earth who are constantly thinking we have a greater purpose. We have a greater destiny. You might not know what it is, but you probably are. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, if it's you might be thinking to yourself, I was born to do something big. That was me my whole entire life. It's not being cocky. It's not even being confident. It was just this little birdie in the back of my head that was always telling me, you need to be doing something bigger with your life. And that was my whole thing. So like when I was working my 9-to-5s, which I did most of my life, every single day I'd be at the job. My boss would say something to me and I'd be like, I'm meant to be something greater than this. This is not where I'm supposed to be. So with that said, in 2015, the quick version of my story is, yes, I always wanted to be an online content creator and entertain millions, right? I didn't know what that would look like. In 2015, picked up my first camera, started filming corporate jobs, and then I started filming action sports, which that was the first iteration of London Labs, was just doing crazy shit outside, random things like we went longboarding in the middle of the night and we had glow sticks attached to the bottom of the board. That was it. That was the concept. I just wanted to do crazy stuff. Then I started to realize that I was funny, or that I thought I was funny. And that didn't work. I did hundreds of comedies on YouTube and Instagram, like you probably read about, and nobody watched, nobody cared. I don't know if I just was not funny or if I just didn't understand how to market myself, right? How to sell myself. But through that journey, I had started a few businesses of my own, which all failed horribly. My first one was Sticky Sounds. It was a Bluetooth speaker that worked with any GoPro mount, ran that into the ground. Pretty hard. I was 21, had no idea what marketing was, right? So around... what was it, 2017, 2018, I got hired at an ad agency that is now one of the biggest ad agencies here in Utah. And through that journey, spent, hundreds of $1 millions between creative and paid media. So I really started to see how humans are making money online and how the biggest brands in the world function. And that's kind of the last piece of information I needed to attack social media full time. So through that, when I was working the 9-to-5 agency job, which is a grind, I was also grinding on TikTok. TikTok came out. I was like, I'm going to give this social media influencing thing one last go. In March of 2020, I posted my first TikTok and I just decided to send it. I did 3 a day for that whole month. And had 100,000 followers at the end of the month, and I was shocked. I was like, if I ever reach 200K, I'll be happy. I can die happy, I then proceeded to post 3 times a month for 18 months, and I didn't miss a day.
Yeah,
I didn't miss a single day. At the end of that 18 months, I think I had 3.5 million followers, and that's when I started to put my marketing knowledge to the test. Quit my job. And went full time. And so I've been full time since the end of 2020, and have made a really good life for myself. And as far as where I thought I'd end up, I don't think I'm there yet. I think getting a few million on YouTube will put me to where I always have dreamed of, and that's what I'm working on now. But yeah, if you don't understand marketing as an influencer, it's just going to get harder and harder, because the creator economy, I almost dare to say, is more inflated than the dollar. There's way too many wannabe creators. There's way too many people who are doing it for the wrong reason. And there's just way too many creators in general. Now you just have to stand out at an even bigger level. So that's always my goal, is to stand out and make people happy.
Yeah, dude, you're getting really big on YouTube. You've done a couple of those crazy Fortnite at top of Mount Timpanogos. Yeah. You were in Lake Powell. Was that Lake Powell, or was that at the time?
That was Utah Lake.
That was Utah Lake. Okay,
yeah, Utah Lake. So that video comes out in a week, 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw the preview for it. I thought that was dope, dude. Yeah. You what else? I mean, you wore 50 shirts for 50 days.
50 shirts for 50 hours.
Oh, 50 hours.
I would have killed myself if it was 50 days.
Yeah, no, I got dyslexia, man. Yeah. I'm like, freak, dude.
Hey, that's what gets you to click on the video. Right. I'm happy.
That's right, man. Well, and so that brings up an interesting point, because you have a lot of this now in kind of like, even like the, even in just the marketing world in general, you have this like short form via long form content. Right. And I know that and it's almost like you have to have both, but you're kind of also, so you started on TikTok, you're also moving to YouTube. What's the value of long form? Like, take us through that whole process of like how you decide what's short form, what's long form, where you go from there.
Yep. There's a really good example of this floating around the internet right now that's got me riled up. So long form content creates what's called a parasocial connection. You might have heard of this. A parasocial connection is, Dalton, let's say you were doing all this research about me, you consumed all of my content, and in your brain you developed a friendship. Yeah. We've never talked. I don't know you. I don't know your story. You think you know me. Yeah. You've now, I'm not saying that happened, but I'm giving that an example. I'm saying, London is so cool. For example, I'll be the first to admit, I have a parasocial connection with a lot of YouTubers. One being Logan Paul. I watch a lot of Logan Paul. I like what he's done. I like his rebrand, and I'll watch his stuff. Does he know who I am? No. Do I feel like we're friends? Kinda, right? So that's what long form does. Now, short form gets, at the minimum, your face out into the world. But for example, I get recognized pretty much everywhere I go nowadays. My channel's done 1 billion views. And I'm not saying that to be a cocky asshole. I'm saying that to prove the point that when anybody comes up to me, they go, You're on TikTok. And I go, yeah, man, what's up? What's your name? And they go, what's your name? That happens. Oh. They know my face. They don't know my name.
Yeah.
So now put that in reverse. When Mr. Beast walks around, people go, holy shit, it's Mr. Beast. They don't go, They don't go, that's the guy from YouTube, right? Because people have a parasocial connection with Mr. Beast. So that's the difference. Now, in order to sell products and in order to get the biggest brand deals in the world, you have to have created parasocial connections. And TikTok is not the platform for parasocial connection. It is the top of the funnel that will get your name and your idea and your content out there. And then if you're smart, you funnel that to YouTube to really create brand loyalty and parasocial connections with people. And that's when you take advantage of the parasocial connection is you start selling products. So that's the funnel.
No, that's perfect, man. Because that's what I mean. Like when I got into podcasting, so I got into podcasting like 3 years ago. It was in my kitchen. It was like all, you know what I mean? It was that same story, right? Everybody has. But it's funny because as I started getting more into podcasting, I learned the importance of video and marketing and things like that. But it's so true because people have to go to a place where like you give them the commercial and then they got to go to a place to get like context because it's no fun to see a creator like and not have any kind of context into like what they're doing or like what their beliefs are or, you know, like Logan Paul's a great one. Like I agree. Like he's got a stellar podcast and it's almost like most of his content now is around the podcast.
It's all podcasts now. Yep.
It's all, what is that? Impulsive or whatever.
Impulsive. Yep.
But it's like it kind of just forms that idea that like you start with this pillar piece of content. So like some people do it, you know, your way, right? And I don't think there's any wrong way to do it. But like go TikTok and then go YouTube, or start with YouTube and then go like TikTok. To these TikToks, right? But I think you have to have both. And like I don't know why there's such a fight over. Man, the people are like vehemently arguing, and I'm like, what the heck is going on, man? It's
stupid. And the best example of this, Brody Wellmaker, he's just pissing me off. I think
what happened?
I think he's just again, great creator, horrible salesman. He just does not. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Anyway, he has 21 million. Yeah, a lot of people love him. I don't like him. Not a fan. But
right, fair enough.
He has 21 million. He has 21 million followers, and he spends all of this money on this short film. Did you hear about this?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I saw some of his TikToks like I'm leaving or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know what this is.
Dude, it's part of the business. You dumbass. Like, I'll say it. And if he wants to box, let's box. No, I'm just kidding. So he spends $40K on a short film, which, for the record, is absolutely nothing to spend on a project like that. Like, if you're not in over 100K, don't even talk. But I agree. Spent $40,000 on this short film, and only 50 people showed up. I'm leaving TikTok. Like, bro, the reason why only 50 people showed up is because of the point I just proved, which is you have zero parasocial connections. People love your content. They don't love you.
Yeah.
They don't. Now, if you had 21 million people on YouTube, 21,000 people would have showed up to that premiere and more. Paid.
Yeah.
Or more. So, Brody, grow up, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
that's such a good point, dude.
And then he blames his fans? Who are you, bro? Who are you? Like, if I did, hey, here's London Last merch. I'm leaving TikTok. Nobody bought my merch. This is because of you.
It's like, no, it's not.
Dude, I seriously can't. He's lost a lot of my respect because of the way he treated this, because of the way he treated the people that like him.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because like, you know, I didn't know the whole story, but it also goes to prove your point even more. Like I saw his TikTok where he was like, I'm leaving TikTok or whatever. And then I scrolled past it because I was like, oh, this isn't like Brody. Like, I'm like,
yeah, right.
As soon as I realized it was serious, I'm like, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Well, okay. I do want to put a disclaimer on this before I get clickbaited. He did say it was for mental health issues, which I take serious. Great. Take a break.
Yeah. Take a break.
But dude,
go ahead.
Just understand that your fans owe you absolutely nothing. They owe you absolutely nothing. Create, and if you gain fans, you gain fans. But nobody owes you anything for making funny videos. So,
and you know what? That's just part of it too. Is like, do whatever you got to do. But it's funny, like two things that you mentioned. The first one, like the 40,000 for a short film, I would assume that's, I mean, I couldn't think of like, if you had a videographer and then you had an editor for it, that's probably only 40K, not the writers
the crew,
or anything behind it.
The crew and the editing is going to add up quick. But again, to the average person, when you hear 40K spent of your own money, you're like, oh my gosh, that's what I make in a year. For us creators, 40K is a bad month. And for somebody like Brody Wellmaker, 40K should be an astronomically bad month for him.
Yeah. But I mean, you're right though. I mean, it just goes to your point. He's not, he hadn't developed any relationships. Like nobody really knew who he was. And that's why that's why my medium is podcasting. So my medium is start on YouTube,
great medium.
and then throw it out there because people can get to know me and like, they'll know you, but you're right, dude. Like the short form, I love that. I mean, the parasocial connection. I mean, I learned something because I didn't really put that together, but it's true. Like, I don't know who you never know. For me, he was the guy imitating Bella off of,
his content's funny. I laugh, but it's like, what's going on in his life? Now, I don't show my life. I don't show behind the scenes of my life. I just show a lot more of me on my YouTube. And people can go, I kind of like that London kid way more than they can do that on TikTok.
Because you establish those connections. And I like how I like how this is just gets broken down because a lot of people see the creator economy and they're like, oh, I just, they might follow Brody and they'll be like, hey, I gotta like just make funny videos and then I'll go viral. Right. Yeah. But if you're not like, if you're not building a community around your brand, dude, you've got nothing, bro.
You really have nothing.
And that's what a lot of people miss is like the community behind everything you got going on. I know you have a pretty big Discord community.
I mean, growing, but growing. Yeah, that's a great place. Again, you just need several more touch points than TikTok can offer. That's it.
A place where people can communicate, a place where people can meet each other. I mean, like, it's funny how this whole, like, the whole social media has kind of gone full circle because, like, it started, it was like, we can be in the world. And now it's kind of, we're coming back around, 360 to like, no, guys, remember, like, it's really about community. And I'm like, well, we were saying that all along. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Now, social media is always a circle. So when long form dies, short form rises. And guess what? Short form. My prediction is TikTokers and TikTok will obviously always be a thing, but it's going to go circle right back to long form YouTube content. And if you don't get ahead right now, which is why I'm taking this opportunity to leave my TikTok to the side for just a minute, I'm still posting there. I'm still creating TikTok. I love TikTok. I love it as a platform. I love creating there, but I am full steam ahead on YouTube. So that I'm not that dumbass TikToker who isn't around in 2 years.
Well, it's true, man.
It's true.
It's so true. Yeah, it's absolutely. True. That's crazy. So you one of your stories that one part of your story that you mentioned that was really inspiring to me was you quit your job. Now you quit your job when you had a couple 100,000 followers. Is that right?
I was about to hit 1 million.
Ooh. Well, that seems like a pretty safe time to do it.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part about that transition? Was it hard for you?
Yeah. Well, I was so pumped to not have a boss. Oh my gosh. I just, as a person, I'm just not built for a boss. I'm a team player. So in times of need, I will have a boss. But I was not ready. Okay. So let me preface this. By the time I left, I think I was managing 40 employees, and just that mindset of being a leader and providing for people and helping people be better and helping people grow within a company. I was not ready to be alone 24/7. I am married. My wife is a PA, so she works at the hospital every day. But that first day, like literally, like I quit on a Monday or whatever, and Tuesday came, and all of a sudden I'm alone. I'm like, holy shit! This is what dreams are made of? Loneliness.
Dude, yeah.
So I went into the darkest time of my life. My marriage went completely downhill. Everything fell apart. Just the mere fact that I wasn't being fulfilled socially, and I was not ready for that. Thank God me and Paloma made it out of that marriage trial.
Yeah.
But, we're the best we've ever been now. But yeah, it was dark times, man. It was dark times.
Yeah.
But we're good now.
Sorry,
we're good now. We're good now.
Okay. Well, it was funny because I'm listening to this. Like I do a lot of reading, and I like to listen to a few of my mentors. I call. Funny enough, it's a parasocial connection. I have a lot of mentors that don't know they're my mentors. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect. That's actually my next example I'm going to give.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so well said. Who are your mentors in life that don't know they're your mentors?
Yeah, they're your mentor. Yeah, like mine are like Ryan Holiday.
Yeah.
Anyway, just a bunch of them. Jay Shetty. Sadhguru. Yeah. So anyway, but Jay Shetty's talking and he goes, or no, excuse me, the guys at Think Media. One of them was
what's his name?
Sean Cannell.
Yep.
Yeah, he's cool. I like him a lot. But he was talking and he was like, failure is like the stepping stone for leadership. He's like the one that gets people most is success. And it's funny because like I when he said that, I was like, damn, man, that's true. Like, if anybody's ready for that, I'm ready to like start in my kitchen. I'm ready for no one to listen to my first 100 episodes. I'm all ready for that. But like when you're ready, like in your case, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like with your story, you were at 1 million followers. You had all the success. You were like, I'm ready to go. And that was the part that it seems like almost kind of derailed you. But I mean, you obviously made through it. You're obviously doing well.
Totally. Yeah.
But
I was just not prepared
for the success. For like
in a lot of ways.
Because you just don't know, right? It's like that. It's like both of the examples we used earlier. It's like you don't know what you don't know, and if you like, you're not ready for like, you got to have those plans in place. So that's very insightful, man. I love that. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, and again, when you're looking at influencers or online personalities, it's not all bright and shiny. There's always something going on. They're humans. They're living, and their job is just to entertain you online.
It happened to me once, and I'm not like I'm not like big by any means, but like, but like, but I'm like at a networking event one time and it was actually for the company I worked for. And I was there on behalf of my company. Like my boss was there and like people were there and somebody and like 4 or 5 people come up and they're like, hey, you're the guy from the Thinking Project. Yeah. And I'm like, and then my boss is there. He's like, because I don't really tell a lot. Like I used to not tell people. I used to just keep this on the low, and I would just do it. And he's like, "You're the what?" I was like, "Oh shoot."
Yeah,
he's
right.
Like,
my employee has a life outside of my 9 to 5.
That's exactly right, dude. I was like, oh no. I was like, I'm gonna lose my job. But it all worked out. But like that's what I wasn't ready for. I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot that like people actually listen to this sometimes.
Dude, I always forget that people watch my videos. I'll be at Target, getting something, and a guy walks up to me. He's like, dude, I saw you try to chop off your balls in that video, man. That was funny. I'm like, oh shit, people do watch this stuff.
That's hilarious, man. Hey, real quick, one of your videos though the one that got me was when you took the red wine and put it on your white Tesla, dude.
Yeah.
To see if Elon, I don't know if I could have done that, bro.
Yeah,
Were you having?
It doesn't stain. No.
Okay.
That Tesla's been through so much, bro. It's like I'm immune to it. That's the one that got a lot of people though.
Yeah, I was like, oh no. Because I worked in the auto industry for a long time, and I know like replacing leather seats is not a joke. People come up to me, like the jeans stain it or whatever. And they'll come up to me, they're like, I didn't know this was going to happen. And we're like, me either, actually.
Spend more money. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So in your journey as a content creator, what's been for you like the most eye-opening lesson? Oh, go ahead. But besides like we talked a little bit about that successes coming into it, but like now that you're here, you're kind of settled in a little bit, you're working towards your goals. Like what have been some of the most eye-opening experiences?
Smoke and mirrors. Everything's fake.
Damn.
Everything's fake, dude.
Tell me more.
Like you think somebody's successful. The only reason you think that is because they look successful. Ooh, and when you show up to their businesses and you see how these things are ran, man, pigeons could run some of these content creators' businesses better. Everything is fake. Everything's marketing. Like you have to understand that all the internet drama is completely fabricated to some level. Like, again, if Brody, for whatever reason, ever heard this podcast, he would understand that he should take me up on some of the things I said to create internet drama. There's never going to be beef between us. But again, that's what gets views. So you have to remember that everything is a false reality created by that content creator. That's why I refuse to be a vlogger. I only want to show things as they really are, and not like, again, vlogging created this sense of this is how this person's life really is. What you don't understand is that guy has producers setting gigs up for him, setting bits up for him, and all this stuff. So like smoke and mirrors, just realize that nothing you see online is reality. There are things that are close to it, but again, everybody's trying to make themselves look more successful than they are. I mean, I can accuse myself of doing that too, you know?
Well, I think we all do that a little bit, man.
Yeah.
I think we all try to, like, you know, you try to make yourself, you try to create that scarcity. Like, everybody's flocking to my shit. Nobody bought your shit, bro.
Or like seriously. Or my favorite one is, everybody's asking me about my diet. So here's my top 5 things I ate today. Nobody asked you that. Not one person asked you what your diet is.
You know what my favorite one is, though? Along with that one, because that one's bullshit. Yeah, I hate that one, too. I was like, dude, nobody did. You're totally right. But you know the one I hate the most is, you know, I was talking to my 4-year-old yesterday, and he asked me what my life goals were and what I was going to do when I was 60. I was like, no, he did not. I have a 4-year-old. He can't even wipe his ass, bro.
No,
he's not asking you about
exactly.
Your future,
so bro. Just make the content to make the content.
Yeah.
Today I asked myself, what am I going to do when I'm 60? Don't be like, I got 37 DMs asking me the same question randomly this morning. No, you didn't.
Yeah, no, you didn't. I love that. But that's why I saw something super funny on LinkedIn, or about LinkedIn. It was like LinkedIn's just turned into a bunch of, they called it broetry. And I was like, oh shit.
I do a lot of broetry. I love LinkedIn, dude. I love LinkedIn.
Yeah, I do too. Cause I use it for my comedy bit. Like I'll do open mic at Wise Guys. So I go to LinkedIn for my comedy bits, dude. Yeah. I'm like, some of this shit can't be real, dude.
Yeah.
And then some of it's actually really good.
You know what I can't stand about LinkedIn is like these
dumbass
family updates. I'm sorry if you've ever done a family update.
No, I've never done a family update.
I block those people immediately.
Yeah,
I think everybody has 3 strikes with me, but if you post a family update on LinkedIn, all 3 strikes, you're blocked immediately. Like today was so great because I got out of the office and was able to spend time with my sweet wife and my 3 kids. And that made me think, life isn't about working a job. Nobody cares about your family. We don't even know you.
It's so true though, dude. That's the broetry though. That's like I asked I don't know. I've just seen so many of those. Like my son asked me and I was like, no, he didn't, man. You were thinking, you were writing in your journal. Right. Yeah. You were writing in your journal and you had an epiphany, dude. And that's beautiful. Just say that. Don't tell me that you think you can raise your kids better than me, dog. Cause I've seen 4-year-olds, dude, that didn't do that.
They haven't even rendered yet.
Yeah, I know. I also love the one. Yeah, everybody's asked me. Nobody's asked you, dude. I get sick and tired of all like that because I took a bunch of copywriting courses a long time ago.
Yeah,
and now I see all the hooks. Like they're all the same fucking hooks. Like
all hooks. Yeah, they're all the same.
We all went to the same class.
Yeah, I just try to be funny I just try to be like today. I said top 5 reasons not to start your own business.
I saw that one was you always need a boss.
Yeah, or it's like who the hell do I send this important pitch deck to?
Dude, I remember that. I remember seeing my first pitch deck. I remember like everybody uses a deck. I was like, bro, I'm about to start making fun of you if you say that again.
Yeah. Just deck? Buzzwords. Just any buzzwords. Pitch deck.
Yeah. I'm like, no, that's not real.
You could walk into any room on this planet, and if you say pitch deck, you are the smartest person in that room.
I brought my pitch deck.
Hey guys, what do you guys think about pitch decks? Yeah, it's like, you're immediately smart.
Yeah, I'm gonna start making fun of you for sure. That's a quick way for me to start roasting you. That's funny, dude. I love that.
We should make a list on LinkedIn, like top 10 buzzwords that like ensure you'll be aroused.
Yes, yeah. One of them.
Arousal.
I know. I talk about some of those on this podcast, and I'll be like, dude, please don't say culture to me. Please, if your sentence starts with culture or value or a deck. Or I don't know what, I'm like, please don't.
ROI.
Yeah, ROI. Yeah, yeah, whatever.
ROI all those positive.
Yeah. Triple net. Shut up, dude.
Triple net,
get out of here, bro. I'm like, stop it. But that's crazy. So listen, let me ask you this. You were talking about, I think this is interesting because for a long time, people, like I grew up in a town that didn't know what salespeople were. And so when you're talking about content creating as being like, you're always selling. Is that how most of your brand deals come? I think I saw this on LinkedIn. Like you cold email and DM a lot of people.
Yep, that's the job.
Because even those guys don't know who you are. Do you have some people be like, because I'm sure you list your credentials in there. Here's why you would do it, right?
Yeah.
9 million, all that stuff.
Yep.
And people go, what? Like, I've never heard of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily the pitch, right? I'm not pitching. Sure. I'm not pitching any like celebratory. Like, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not pitching. Hey, use my face to gain traction. I'm saying, hey, use my marketing expertise and my large following to gain traction.
Oh, I like that.
But yeah, it's dude, it's all cold calls. I'd say 9 out of 10 deals that we sign is because I sourced it myself.
Wow. Dude,
well, okay. I mean, let me break down the types of leads I have for you. Yeah. There's cold leads, which I DM on Instagram and LinkedIn. And that's when I introduce myself and introduce what I do.
Yeah, okay.
Cold lead, right? A warm lead is, hey, I saw your LinkedIn post. Let's talk. That happens a lot. So that's like in between outbound and inbound, right? That's like, I don't know. Would that be an inbound lead?
I guess it would be it would be an inbound. It's like, let's talk. All right, cool.
Yeah, let's talk. So yeah, my inbound leads all come because... And now I do this on purpose. I talk about the success of my clients on LinkedIn, and other people want to share that success. So that's how I generate inbound. And then we always hop on the phone.
You do a lot of just pick up the phone, like send an email, pick up the phone, like, hey, I'm London Laz, let's roll.
Yeah, and I'd say 1 out of 100 of those even gets a convo or
you know what, dude, that's wild, bro. You were talking about smoke and mirrors, and I assume you were talking about other creators, but have you seen that with like businesses like that you go into that you're like, they want to do brand deals and you're like, man, I love that. Like in my head, this is a really established brand, but then
every business, because they're just people. Like when I showed up to do the Disney's biggest campaign of the year, there were some plot holes.
Right, yeah.
They're just like, people working their job. Like, it's not going to be perfect, but Disney's a blast to work with. I have nothing bad to say about them. I'm actually doing another deal with them. I actually got the email this morning. Holy crap, this freaking fly. I don't know how that got in here. But yeah.
Dude, that's crazy, bro. But that's interesting because like, there's so many misconceptions. Maybe this is maybe your next YouTube video, bro. Break down some of the misconceptions of being a content creator. Because like, I would have never thought that you had to source most of your own brand deals. You mentioned this in a post too. You said, you don't really sell or you stay away from, now I'm going to butcher this quote, but you'll correct me. You said like, you try to stay away from deals that where the KPIs are like views and stuff like that, or they're like average engagement. Like, how do you, so what is a good, like, how do you structure that type of deal?
Yeah, I try to stay away from, on a general sense, hyper specific KPIs.
Oh yeah, like vanity metrics, like views and stuff like that.
Well, no, again, those are the easy ones. You want those ones as a content creator because that's easy to get. It's hard to move the needle in terms of sales or app downloads or email signups, right? That's hard for a content creator. You want the views. But yeah, I try to stay away from, or I just try to move the needle for brands, I guess is the better way to put it. And if moving the needle for the brand is getting 1 million views, I'll do everything I can to do that. If it's to get 10,000 emails, I'll do everything I can to do that. But don't be so beholden to one type of KPI. Don't be that influencer that only knows how to get views. Don't be the influencer that only knows how to get email signups. Don't be the only influencer that, because every brand has their own KPIs, and you need to be able to present a case study per each KPI that brands talk about. So for me, a brand goes, oh yeah, we want to do an email sign up because that's where we convert all of our sales is email campaigns. I go, perfect. Here's one I gathered 31,000 emails for. And then another brand's like, oh, we want to do app installs. Here's one that I had, 1,200 app installs or whatever. So
yeah. Well, that's cool, man. That's crazy. Because like, again, just more misconceptions. Like you would think that like I know some of my like early stage like creator friends who are like, they just think brands, first of all, they think brands flock to them. They're like, I must not be doing something right because brands don't notice me. I told one of my friends, I was like, bro, nobody knows anybody. Like I worked for one of the biggest SaaS companies in the country, and nobody knew, and we were cold calling and nobody knew who we were, dog.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people just don't know who you are, and that's fine. And then you mentioned that, but that's also a great point to talk about, like knowing how to sell. Like somebody's going to care about email sign up, somebody's going to care about views, somebody's going to care about app, whatever. And you got to approach that differently. Now does somebody wanting an app sign up versus an email versus a view, does that change the kind of content that you make?
Yeah, totally. I mean, maybe not the actual video itself, but the way we think about the video definitely will change depending on their KPIs. Like if you're an influencer or a wannabe influencer listening to this, next time you get on the phone with a brand, first out of the gates, ask them what their KPIs and their goals are.
Yeah.
And then ask right after that, has any other influencer ever asked you that? They will say no.
Yeah,
I've never met an influencer that even knows what KPI stands for. Key performance indicators. There's no influencers that know what that means.
Dude, what? This is crazy, man. Because what's so funny is like, I used to, I have a sales training company. Like I do this with a lot of people, and I mainly work with business owners and people like that. And I get a lot of pushback. Like they'll be like, well, this doesn't work, or like, you're crazy here. But it's funny that like, you really do. When you become a creator, like you're saying, you got to sell it. And I love the fact that you source most of your own deals. That's badass, bro.
All through LinkedIn.
What you talking about?
Last December, I did about 180K from LinkedIn calls.
Shit, dude! Like finding them, like DMing them, and then getting their phone number and picking up and dialing.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, do you have a sales background, or is it?
I did summer sales for 1 year.
Okay, summer sales for 1 year. But like what? But like okay, but like you're different though, because like summer sales for 1 year doesn't teach you to like, hey, maybe I should pick up the phone.
No,
you know what I mean? Where did you pick that up?
The hustle? Where'd I pick up the hustle?
Yeah. Like not many, like I'm being genuine. Like not many people I talk to in our age bracket doing what we're doing would think to pick up the phone. So I'm just curious.
The hustle came from I always said, if I want to be at the top of my industry, I got to do what nobody else in that industry is willing to do. There's no other influencers. Most influencers just get a manager, and then their manager is not even a good salesperson. So it's like,
shit.
I knew I had to learn sales, and more importantly, I knew I had to learn marketing before I could be a good influencer. And so the creative direction job was a huge blessing of mine, that I got to experience all of the heartache of being a creative director. And then obviously doing sales was just huge. But the hustle came because I'm so keen on, I don't even know how to put this, man. I'm just so keen on doing more than anybody I know. Mm-hmm. So like, if one of my, this is just how effed up my mind is. If one of my friends says, hey, I've been waking up at 5:30 every day for like the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I'll be like, you bet your ass I'm waking up at 5 for the next 5 years. That's how I am.
You just got to do it, bro.
Nobody does, like, for me, nobody can beat me in any facet of life. That's what I strive for. And if I fall short, I might be better as a person. Great. But Yeah, it's almost like an asshole thing to say, but it's like, I just want to be better than you.
Well, but it's like that's what drives some people is like, I've got to be the best, because that, you know, that's a skill though. Like that's a transferable skill. Like nobody can take away your knowledge about how to create content. If you have a phone and internet access, you're going to be successful, period. End of story.
Yeah.
And that's like, that's not cocky or selfish. Like that's empowering, man. That's why I love sales, is because like, listen, if I had to restart today, I don't restart from zero. I restart with all this shit I got in my head, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, exactly. No, sales. The funny thing is like sales isn't an industry. Every industry is sales.
That's so true, man.
You know what I mean?
It's like accurate, dude. How did you learn how to like talk on the phone? Like how did you learn how to cold call?
Oh, I'm actually very adverse to taking cold call, to taking pitch. I'm adverse to taking what's the word? Recited lines. Like
Sure. Yeah.
I steer away from that. Okay. I literally hop on the phone and blast a beam of energy that person has never felt through the phone, and then the rest of the sale is easy.
Of course. That's it.
Like
man.
Most people, this is Dan. Hey Dan, just following up on our LinkedIn message. Hey man.
Sounds like
no, it's Dan, what the fuck is up, dude? What are you doing today? And Dan's like, holy shit, I don't know, I'm going golfing. You're probably not even good at golfing, Dan. Why do you even keep trying? Is it a business thing? Okay, great. Like,
yeah.
Be out. Like for me, it's just, okay, now again, that mindset did not work on the doors.
Well, you know what's funny though? This is what I teach people in sales, because I don't teach a lot of like pre-rehearsed lines either. But like one of the big things I teach is like, dude, you have to be yourself. Like people buy who you are. Exactly. And like what works for me is not going to work for you.
Right.
You got to fit it in your voice. Cause yeah, man, like when I would close deals and I still do sometimes today, like if I know the person, they'll give me some objection. I'll be like, shut the hell up. You know, you're going to sign this, man. Let's just get it done. And like, people are like, you don't actually say that to people. That's extremely rude. And I go, not when I say it with a smile on my face and they know who I am, dog. Then it's funny. And then they go, yeah, you're right, Dalton.
Dude. Okay.
And I do the same to you, man.
It's so good. Like here's a key to sales, in my opinion.
All right, let's go.
It's just learn to say anything in pure confidence and don't back down. So
boom.
I've got a great story for this. My sales manager didn't really like that I was into that kind of mindset, like just say things, and if you say it with confidence, it could work out. So I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to show up to a lady's house that has a pool. I'm going to tell her I'm the pool boy she ordered, and she's going to show me around the pool. So one, I have to get lucky and hope that this lady ordered a pool boy. So I'm walking around this corner and I see the backyard. You know, I'm walking towards the backyard. I see that they had a pool. Go to the front door. Knock, knock, knock. I just wanted to prove him wrong. I didn't want to sell. I wanted to prove this guy wrong.
Yeah.
I go, hey, I'm your pool boy. And I don't budge. You say what you're going to say and you don't
shut
budge.
The hell up, dude. Yeah.
And she goes, and I had like my company tag right here and it was called Rise. And she's like, Rise? She's like, my husband said so. Yeah, I think my husband did it. Come on in. And I'm like, okay. I'm in this woman's house. And she's like, the pool's out here. She shows me around the pool. And I go, I am so sorry. This is going to sound bad. I'm a pest control salesman, and that was a complete joke. Do you need any pest control? She kind of laughed about it, probably thought I was a weirdo, but that proved my point. Say what you believe, and if you're confident enough in it, people will buy it. Also, people get so scared. London, how much do you charge? And then you say the price, and then you start talking over it. Say the price and stop.
Yeah, shut up.
How much you charge? 50 grand.
Boom.
You don't need to explain yourself yet.
Hell no. Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's like one of the first lessons is like, how do you close? You know how to close? Shut the hell up. That's how you close.
Yeah, you don't talk.
Stop talking.
Stop talking.
Talk less, man. Holy cow, dude. Well, this has been one of the most fun conversations I've had in a long time, London. I really appreciate you, brother. So if they're listening to this, they probably know who you are, but tell them anyway. You got a course on TikTok. You got, you got TikTok, you got YouTube. Tell everybody where to find you, brother.
Yeah, it's just London Laz on everything. Be on the lookout for my YouTube videos. I just hiked Mount Timpanogos with a full desk setup and got the world's highest elevated Fortnite win. So that one comes out Friday the 9th. Friday the 2nd. Friday the 2nd. So be on the lookout for that. But feel free to reach out to me via DMs on Instagram. I'm always open to chatting to like-minded humans. You know, if you say something stupid, you're going to get shit on. But
that'd be great. All right, dude. Well, hey, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dalton.